Let's see.
That's weird.
It said live.
Yeah, you're not live, man. I don't even see that starting soon.
You're right. This is 3 waiting.
Yeah, it
It
just
says waiting for Shane Bradford.
It says live.
Waiting for Shane Bradford to fucking do something.
Have y'all ever heard of Gary Jeff Walker? Like
Jared
Desperados waiting for a train.
Mm-hmm.
Live chat.
Hold on.
I think it's live now.
Is it?
I see it starting soon.
Yeah, that's what I see.
It says 3 waiting still. It says we're live on here. There it is.
You got it?
You got it? We're live.
We're live.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, it's live.
All right. Sorry.
Told you to restart it.
Sorry.
I was kidding.
You know, I apologize because we're going to blame Wit for this one because
We've been sitting here talking an hour.
So what you guys need to know right now is we have Scott, who is a legend, who he created one of the second greatest horror cons ever.
Nope.
Frightmare. And
Technically, Tony Stark created it, and then I joined up.
no, you're still
Gotta throw them in there.
Dude, you're still dude, Scott. You can't play this bullshit with us. You're with it.
Huge
Okay?
part of it, Scott.
Huge part of it. And you're probably our favorite part of it. Okay. And then we have Brian, who is meant to play Jason in the Friday the 13th. Now we're finally live because Wit was negotiating and did all kinds of bullshit with it. But so, Brian, tell us why part 6 is your favorite.
Part 6 will always be my favorite. You know, that's the first Friday movie I saw at John Eric Shepherd's house. I think that it is the first undead Jason, the first supernatural Jason, and just the way that they were able to put together the storyline to carry all the individual characters to the end. The way they did the finale of all the confrontations with Jason. And you made the point earlier of talking about CJ Graham's presence on screen. So there was a dichotomy of when he was just like the moving and the stoic Jason, and then you had those momentary points of violence when he was this wild man. It was just the presence and the overall arc of that movie. I think it just makes it the best.
No, I totally agree with you, but it's the one movie that had 0 boobs.
It had Darcy. Come on.
It did have,
You know what?
but
Hey, do your booby dance, Shane. Everybody knows your booby dance.
so Scott, you put on a show. You bring a lot of actors out. If you said, I'm going to have one show, I'm going to put some Jason actors out there, who is the Jason you're bringing?
Oh, that's CJ Graham. Just so you know, part 6 is my absolute all-time favorite as well. It's my favorite. I think it's the best. No. Part 4 is the best Friday the 13th. There's a lot of reasons I love part 6. Brian already hit on a few. One thing about part 6 I love, which I always like to bring up on podcasts. I did an hour-and-a-half podcast on this one movie one time. The Friday the 13th, part 4, Jason died. The only way they could continue was the Scooby-Doo Jason. Fans went nuts. Now, this was long before Facebook and everything else on social media. The fans went so crazy. Motherfucker said, we got to figure out a way to bring this dude back to life. And it was like, it was one of those early things where the fans actually affected the franchise without social media. And it's just part 6, and the Jason everybody knows and loves came from Part 6. Period. The one that's an unstoppable force that, it just
That's a good point.
He's a great white shark on land, just taking care of business.
No, I actually agree with you. So you had 4, he died. 5 was a fake. Roy
rules. It's so good though.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love,
that
I love
was
5.
one of- as an 80s kid, you were saying earlier, Shane, is when I was growing up, Part 3 played on constant rotation. And Part 3 I threw up there a lot because, of course, that's where Jason got his mask.
Yep.
That's a pretty important part of the franchise. He got that signature hockey mask in Part 3. And just as a kid, I've probably seen Part 3 more than any other episode because that thing would play 3 times a week on cable when I was
Yeah,
growing
man.
up.
Part 3 is glorious.
Oh, yeah. That's a fun one. That's a really, really fun one. But yeah, Part 6 is
Soundtrack.
mine.
No, I actually totally agree with you guys. So we were we picked up Dick. What was his name? Dick Weiland.
Dick Wheaton.
Yeah, for Part 5, he played Roy, and he goes, "People don't like me because I wasn't Jason." I said, "The good thing about Jason is in Part 9." So the guy that created Part 9 also created the Ash versus Jason versus Voorhees. I have the comic somewhere.
Yeah, I remember those.
Okay.
Adam
And-
Marcus. Mr.
So-
Adam Marcus.
Yes. The thing is you can still be Jason, but you can be the dead-eyed version of Jason.
Yeah.
And-
So wasn't Part 3 the 3D version?
Yes. Yes, I have it here
Yeah,
with the
I do. I remember seeing that at the theaters, and that was probably the first 3D that we were introduced to back, 82, 3, something like that.
So
Yeah.
it was probably 2 years ago. The 3D version became a remake version.
Really?
They remade it and they put it in an Alamo Draft House. My wife and I went and watched it, and it was phenomenal. The same javelin throw thing that he did and all that was
rattlesnake jumping out.
yeah. Because the original it didn't stick. It was the same thing as the Freddy's dead scenario. Where it was like, oh, Freddy's dead scenario, and you can see in 3D, and you're like, wow, this is gay. I mean, not gay. 'Cause I'm trying to be like politically correct. We're on Facebook right now. I'm not trying to be like,
Don't get us canceled.
we already got canceled. We're not trying to be canceled.
And do you still have to
Yo,
wear the
not me.
glasses?
Y'all, not
Yeah.
me. Y'all.
Hey, so real quick, we're not going to talk about being canceled with Ben. You got us canceled on TikTok.
I did.
Let's get us kicked off.
What the fuck did I do? I wasn't even on TikTok.
You
I don't
wrote
even
a
have
pink-
TikTok.
you wrote a pink penis and
I'm-
put it on TikTok, and we
I
got
am proud that I am so large in life that I can cancel us and not even be there.
so Jason, not penises.
But yeah,
We-
CJ Graham is definitely, but he's just he was the perfect Jason Voorhees in my opinion. That's he is
Absolutely.
Jason to me. So
It's the body structure. His body
Yeah.
fucking structure was phenomenal. The way he got up when he got hit
his movement, exactly. Yeah.
was amazing. And
See, Brian's got that body structure.
Bullshit.
Dude,
Well, no, I
Dude,
mean, you
Brian-
put
I
Brian
am
looks
large.
great on
I am
screen.
not built like fucking CJ Graham. Like,
Dude, but he
to
looks
Shane's
great on
point, like
screen.
when they're talking about his
You wearing a
recoveries,
Chippendale? What are you
when he-
talking about, man?
when he snaps up, that's 100% ab strength. He fucking whop, and he can sit straight
it
up.
was quick.
I'm
No,
a large person. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not built like
Look.
fucking CJ Graham was in that fucking.
they got springboards for that shit.
Yes.
Help you out there, buddy.
What?
Oh, look at Ben roll his head.
Y'all motherfuckers can't do a sit up. Y'all can't do a sit up.
Hey, no. I get what Brian's trying to say. It was the same thing with
Yeah.
the Undertaker in WWF had a moment where he can, he made his body,
Yeah,
which Jason could do in Part 6, which
Yeah.
CJ Graham did. And Kane said that was the hardest thing becoming a wrestler was trying to mimic the lift that Undertaker did because the
Without
way he
lifting
did
his legs.
it. Yes, CJ Graham did the same fucking thing and he dominated it.
Yeah.
I mean, CJ
Yeah.
Graham is still my best fucking Jason. And the guy who's the director and writer, what's his name?
Tom
Tom
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
Okay,
Carl.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he was at the cult. Okay, when we
He
had
was-
him there, and it was
No. Tom.
Tom. Is Tom something?
What is
I
his
just
name?
told you.
Oh, Clark, yeah.
What is it?
Okay, Tom, yeah.
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
Yeah. Okay, so
Thank
His
you.
autograph is right there.
we had him at the cult, and he said, "I'm gonna make another Jason movie with CJ Graham." I don't think that's happening. It's been like
They already did it. It was done Vengeance too.
the thing is look, I get, I mean, no disrespect from the side projects that are occurring. What you guys have done with the whole Castle versus Voorhees, it's comic accurate and movie accurate, you know? And the reason you guys are doing a good job, fan funding and fan doing this stuff, is because you actually understand concept of what you're trying to do. Okay. I've seen other people, and I mean no disrespect for them, make your movies that made the whole fan funding Jason movies. I get the movies, read the comics, read the whole graphic novels, do the other stuff. You guys have actually done that. Okay. Castle versus Voorhees, fan film. That's all it is. Not making any money off of it. You're killing it. I mean, even the filming is phenomenal.
Looks great.
I mean, it looks great. I mean, the everything you guys are doing, the angles, the shooting, the directing, the blood effects, everything is on fucking point.
Well, may I throw a shout out to Andrew McNiven, who I want to bring on board. Honestly, I honestly want to bring him on board for one of my other films that I'm working on right now because he is just fucking amazing with what he can
Yeah,
do.
our DP Andrew, he's been doing this for 20 years and he knows his stuff. He holds on to his vintage technology. He's doesn't want to step into the new age and learn the new, but what he knows so well. And he's like, yeah, we're just gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna do this, and then suddenly it's there on the fucking screen.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's badass.
Yeah.
There's certain people that have that weird fucking talent, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
No, I love that. I found that like with Country Club, my first movie, which sucks. Don't watch it. No one ever. Don't watch it. It
It
sucks.
doesn't suck.
I have to watch it. I already bought it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So damn.
It doesn't
So-
suck.
You want your dollar back?
It does.
No,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
no. But the deal is like every time you make an independent movie, you see something. Okay. You know, I met Whit in Country Club. Now I have Ben, you know, who would sleep with anybody to be in a movie. And he's phenomenal at acting. He shouldn't do the blowjobs he does.
Fucking
He's actually
man.
pretty good at acting. He's still
Hey, slow down. Don't let him know about everything, you know. So let's keep him on the limb.
What's up, Katrina?
Going home.
What's up, Katrina?
So we have Katrina, who is one of the greatest supporters ever, you know. But Katrina. So real quick, let's do a little tie-in. On Friday the 13th, we're having a great concept, the greatest fucking show ever. Horrorland Television Watch will be there with a table. I mean, come on.
First and
How
Fuck
the
yeah,
fuck
man.
do you not go to a bar? You want to drink some fucking alcohol and you want to have some good time? Go to a bar Friday the 13th, watch the greatest fucking horror movie ever.
And
On the
celebrate
13th.
Jason's birthday.
on
Happy
Friday.
birthday to
On
Jason.
Friday the
On Friday
13th.
the 13th.
Hey, so
No,
John,
not just Friday the 13th. Friday, June 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Friday,
Is
June 13th,
Jason's
Jason's birthday and Brian's birthday.
Actual birthday. So
The trifecta.
So Scott put it out there. It's Jason's actual birthday. Whose other birthday is it?
Brian's
Who,
play.
if anybody, cosplay wise, plays Jason better than anybody, than Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, he's
That setup is fucking
Great
amazing.
costume, great action, great walking, great costume. Yeah, he looks good.
Put it back.
It is going to be at
Yes.
Eureka Heights Brewery in Houston.
Yep, Eureka
Yep.
Heights Brewery, 6
Right
to
here.
10.
Houston, Texas. Y'all
I
come on
foresee
out.
Yeah.
18th Street,
And it
Houston,
is a
gonna be a
free
character?
event for everybody.
Are you gonna be
Katrina,
We
there?
are.
it's
Showing
914
part 6.
West 18th Street in Houston.
Yep.
And it's right there on the
We are
flyer.
showing
on
part
that little-
6.
Hey,
We
Katrina,
are showing a sneak
your
peek
family
of our
does.
film.
you need a place to stay, you can stay here. We got a place for you. Come out there. You know, we won't have Ben because he's gonna jerk off sheep, but
So far,
Yo.
Kelly, we've got 2 gay bins and now a sheep fucking bin.
no, I said jerk off.
He said jerking them
You're
off.
a-
That's a little different.
How can I tell Shane's a long way away from Ben?
He's 5.5 hours away and he's not driving here, so he's gonna jerk off sheep.
That's
What-
fine.
The point
You know,
is, it's going to be
whatever.
a pretty cool little get together.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get
No,
back.
Well,
I
it's
don't
gonna be a
think
lot of
anybody's
fun. We're gonna
done
have a
this
good time.
before. I think this is a
Okay.
first.
So look, I actually want to go through all of them. All right, let's start off. So
How many are we talking?
listen, no, all of them.
All
So,
of
How
them.
many?
Listen.
How many?
Look.
Well-
All of them.
Listen real quick. I grew up in the 80s and I grew up with Ronna Shear showing me Friday the 13th. I always thought Jason was Friday the 13th. You have part 1. Jason isn't Friday the 13th. What's the whole concept of Friday the 13th?
The whole concept. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Kids going to the cabin, hanging out.
Boobs.
yeah, boobs and blood.
I mean, they
and-
never show the killer
the
slit in the
woods.
throat
Okay, look.
in the woods.
They show
Okay.
it at the end. They
Okay, I'll pause inbred real quick. So you had college kids coming to reboot a cabin who was originally a cabin for kids going there and hanging out. A I don't know. Would you
Which one
consider
you
part 1 a
something.
Down syndrome? Are we allowed to say that? Do we get political? We're on Facebook now.
That's the
Okay, can you say that? Okay. Look, we do not want to get Facebook. Don't fuck us down right now. We're on Facebook.
Come on, Zuckerberg.
You know, we already get
Wait,
cut
right.
out. We already had the violation. All right. So,
Wait a minute.
uh,
Are you saying the original Camp Crystal Lake was for like disabled kids?
no, the one I don't know. I don't know who Voorhees was. He was like Captain.
He was the only one there. He was Pam's. What?
Yeah, he was.
How do you
Pam,
not know
Pam
this?
had her son there. Pam had her son there who was handicapped, and all the there's just kids there for a summer camp. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Am I on
And
the
because
right
website?
she worked there.
See, let's
Jason.
stop tell it.
no, in that regard, it was
Just a regular camp, right?
yeah,
It's
Pamela
regular
Voorhees. Basically,
camp.
it was like a teacher
Oh,
bringing her son to
oh,
her child to school.
Jason was like. Are we allowed to say retard?
Hydrocephalic.
He was
Retarded.
retarded. He was retarded. Okay.
No. He was retarded. Dead. You
Re-
don't call him retarded.
Listen,
He was
have
actually
been
Mentally handicapped.
retarded.
Mentally
He
handicapped.
was handicapped. Yeah.
Mentally-
Man, I think retarded's back. I think it's okay.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good.
People don't get
Look,
so.
this is our
butthurt.
last
Depends
chance
on
on
what
Facebook.
platform you're
No,
on.
this is our last chance on Facebook. If it's retard is not the answer, we're done. So we're gonna go.
I don't want to live in a world without retards.
So we're gonna say
I love it.
Jason
Hydrocephalic.
was retard, and he drowned because he
Nobody
was.
was watching.
Nobody was watching.
Nobody was watching.
No, not only were
Nobody
people,
knows the story. Nobody really knows.
not
the
only
whole
were
story.
people not watching, the people that weren't watching were committing sins, were doing bad things.
Bingo.
Like,
That's the big thing. Is the people
That's where the
that
rules started.
people
That's
that
where the rules started.
people that would screw outside of marriage or do drugs or whatever. Those are the people that died. It's
You got to stay a
And like
virgin.
the people that weren't watching them, they were fucking off. They were doing things they weren't supposed to be doing.
We actually probably have Scott correct everything we do.
Good. Scott will keep it simple. He'll keep it simple.
Scott
Well,
and
movie
John are
nerd,
really like
man.
allow the
Three parts out.
ship, just keeping the water cut.
No, that was perfect. No, it was sin and everything negative. Okay, I love that. And then he dies, and Mom's pissed. They didn't watch.
Yeah.
Who was portrayed by a phenomenal actress.
Yes.
Phenomenal actress. I can only imagine meeting this woman.
She just did it for a car too, didn't she?
She didn't want to do it.
Really?
Yeah, she did it to pay for a car.
That was it. She wasn't looking to get rich off of it.
And then we have
Crazy.
the whole. Well, here's the one thing is there's this whole concept of hero girls. We have a hero girl in this one. She does survive, but in part 2,
Not so much.
not so much. Okay, but she does slaughter Pamela Voorhees.
Takes her out.
Takes her out. And I love the whole, politically correct thing Scott said. We probably should bring him on more because we probably wouldn't be banned as
Have
much.
a buzzer, Scott, every time.
I'm ready wherever you are, man. We live like a few miles from each other. Yeah.
That's awesome. Scott will keep us straight. So we're on 2. You already got to 2 now, or did you spoil the first one?
No, we're on the first one. So we have the blonde broad that killed Jason's mom, slaughtered her head, kicked the fuck up, and then it opens up with part 2 where the girl's running on and she's in the shower. You don't see her boobs.
No boobs.
You think you're going to see her boobs. You don't see her boobs. You keep thinking it's not happening. You want it to happen. It doesn't happen. No boobs. Part 2, head in the fridge. Jason.
Jason's such a jokester, huh?
Yeah. What a fucking masturbate and cock blocker there is.
That's just absolutely. You're just speculating there.
Yeah. No offense, Facebook.
Just speculating.
Well, and that's the funny part. It's like he's got a head. It's like, hey, where does this go? Well, this obviously goes in the fridge.
Absolutely.
This
And
preserve-
then,
keep mom.
then you have one of my favorite movies is April Fool's Day. You have April
Hold
Fool's
on, let's
Day.
go back. So
in
that
part
means
2.
at the part 2, at the very start of part 2, when you see the kid walking on the street and you see Jason's feet, that means that it's not just his feet. That means he's also holding mom's head because it's before he gets into her house. That's freaking awesome. So if you were to do a pan up, like Jason sitting there holding mom's head like a football.
Hey, John, we live in a world. See nothing, say nothing.
They did that. At least in the 80s.
So that kid said, "Fuck this shit.
I'm
I'm
down.
not gonna say anything."
Right? Maybe he turned around and saw that. Hey, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
I know, man. Fuck this shit. Errol.
Hey, it's kind of like the little old lady that pulled around the corner in the car when we were headed over there, dragging the body across the street. I
Well,
don't see
don't
nothing.
pass up. Like, don't go on the part 2
I don't see
without.
nothing.
Whit, you
Hey,
don't
don't
need
go
to
on
look
the part
at the
2
microphone
without
every time.
mentioning the moment of part 1 of what made part 1 so badass. That stinger at the
Hey.
end, like just mention that before we go on to part 2. That thing's heavy duty. Like, so Alice is in the lake. It's really calm, nice piece of music, and you think everything's good. Then you get Jason, just little Jason from the lake pulling her down, and then like it goes into that slow motion. Then it becomes, is it a dream? Is it not a dream? That's freaking
No,
awesome.
that's-
That is the epitome of a movie moment. It's those
Yeah.
movie moments, those small sections that happen that just grasp an audience. Happens in Halloween.
Yeah.
Happens in Jaws.
I agree on that. Yeah.
That's
Where's
what
the
it's
boy?
because that.
Where's the boy?
Honestly,
that's the
Right.
thing.
think about it, that's
Damn,
the
there
moment
wasn't any
that
boy.
Started the franchise. That moment right there
That was
started
the
the
quintessential
franchise.
point in the franchise
that
where
moment,
they introduced
right, that
the
moment.
possibility of
Thank you, Scott.
surprise
Oh my God! Look,
supernatural
Hey,
things.
real quick. Hey, stop. I want to stop this. I have a top layer. I have Brian, I have Scott, and I have John. Same fucking scenario. What did you say? That's
That
what
moment
started the franchise.
franchise.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Dude,
That moment.
it did.
It's just
No,
like, whoa.
it did. And it made it to a moment where there's so many possibilities. Okay.
Yeah.
And Jason just fucking blew up from part 2.
Correct. Everybody
And
wants
then
to
I
see it again.
No, and then look, we have Captain Beard over here,
That was Mason. That was Mason.
who
Voorhees.
also loves part 3, but part 2 is so fun. The
It
chick,
is.
Yeah, part 2 is great.
what's the girl's name from Scott? You guys had her from
Amy Steele.
Amy Steele. God, what a great actress! I mean, she dominated that whole
Survived.
fucking
She
role.
survived.
Did she?
She survived the whole thing.
The guy jumped in.
Never got her.
No, well, we don't know.
She went away in the ambulance.
Yeah,
The
she
guy-
goes away. Yeah, she's good.
He gone.
I still think she died.
You're talking about Paul? Like, so, dude, what is also badass about Friday the 13th? It's also one of the main franchises that started the stereotype of just somebody going out into the woods and yelling somebody's name for half a fucking hour. It's like literally like every movie you have somebody like Steve, Paul,
Steve!
Paul, like even like in part 3, you got like demons yelling for Fox. I mean, like it's in every one of them. Like somebody's name gets yelled. Jason's name gets yelled a billion times. It's freaking awesome. But it started kind of that little stereotype, like where just somebody will go out. Like you have no, I can't write dialogue. This is just a horror movie. You walk out into the woods and scream for Paul 14 times. And then that sounds good. Cut.
I need 3.5 minutes of this. Go.
Right. Turn the other way. Call for Paul that way. Paul.
So
Paul.
there's an argument that part 3 is the greatest of the franchise.
It is.
We already talked.
It's pretty good.
We like
It's pretty
6,
good.
but
It's
part
good.
3 is
It's
the best.
pretty good.
Or
He
none.
gets his iconic mask and everything, all of a sudden, which is really weird, is
Me too.
that's the day after part 2, and Jason's gained 50 pounds. Now, all of a sudden,
Oh,
he's aged, he
And-
aged
and a
10
foot
years,
taller.
and he's getting paid.
I say that's why his twin got killed in part 2. Mason Voorhees got killed in part 2. That's right.
Mason Voorhees.
That's right.
Oh, Paul, definitely. I got to say, part 4 is the best one that was made as far as
That is the best
Oh,
representation.
Is
of
that
Jason.
the
Corey Feldman.
that's,
Yeah, it's Corey Feldman. Yeah.
that's
Corey Feldman, man. Ted White.
part 5.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
No,
Deborah Voorhees.
Banana
Deborah
Girl.
Voorhees titties in part 5 is the best.
Good kill too.
Dude,
Oh,
but you gotta give it. Why is part 4 so good? So like part 1 is directed by Sean Cunningham. Part 2 is Steve Miner. Part 3 is Steve Miner. Part
Yeah.
4 is fucking Joseph Zito, dude. So Joseph Zito, if he has like the same cinematographer in almost all his work too. He did fucking Invasion USA. He did fucking The Prowler, and part 4 all during that same time. Right, so that's all directed by Joseph Zito, and he uses the same cinematographer. If you watch part 4, you watch Invasion USA, and you watch, it looks like the same fucking movie. Like it's almost uncanny. Joseph Zito is so good at capturing a genre. Like he was fantastic at it, and he just has so many examples. Like The Prowler, it's just like it's a fantastic movie, and Tom Savini did special effects on The Prowler and part 4. So, it's like, he got the same special effects artist, same cinematographer, same director. But yeah, Joseph Zito is really what made part 4 just a killer movie, man. Like his style is really good.
So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, now 4. We have 5, which has the greatest tits in any fucking
it's
horror movie.
part
Part
5
5,
is
just so you
part
know, part
5.
5 I think is a good movie. And the thing about
I
it
like
is,
part 5.
there's the only way you could continue from part 4 is with part 5.
Yes.
There was no other option
It's a
at that time.
trilogy.
I mean, it made total sense. You know,
Right.
Part 5 is
And
also the one that
it's the
never
whole-
shows a lake.
It's
No-
the
no lake in part
Tommy Jarvis trilogy.
Yeah.
Part 5. So
Yeah,
we-
Jarvis arc.
Yeah. Okay. So I picked up Dick. What's his name?
Lion.
Whelan from the airport, and I took him to eat Mexican restaurant with us, and he was like, "Oh, people hate that I'm not Jason." I said, "There's now a comic that says, hey, we may have the inbreds back. You are not Jason. You are a human, but you're still a Deadite because of the Ash versus Jason versus Voorhees comic. Use that to sell your writings." And he goes, "Cool, I can do that. I like that concept." And then when I left and I took him to the airport, he goes, "I didn't realize you Texas people are so nice."
Oh, nice.
And I said, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I thought everyone who was Texas were a bunch of racists." I said, "You know, most of the people living in Texas are Hispanic, right?" "Really?"
Yeah.
"Yeah." You know?
This was
And he
in
goes-
Mexico a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, in Texas is friend in Spanish, you know? But the thing is he goes, "I had never thought, and I want to do more Texas shows because of our show."
Please. He was such a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was cool. He was
No,
cool,
he
man.
was so nice. Look,
That's one autograph I never thought I would get, and I got it at your show, and that was special.
we're going to do a quick tangent. We're going to go back to Jason, and this is directed to Scott only. And we had so when I bought into the Cult Classic convention, Roy goes, "Bring one actor," and I said, "I want to bring two. I want to bring Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy." And I brought Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy. His line was 2.5 hour wait.
Yep.
That we did a show this year. His line was 2.5 hour wait, and he goes, "Do you guys have a problem with the Houston Horror Show?" And I said, no, I love those guys. I think they put on a great show. And he goes, "Because I don't think they want me." And I said, I will ask them, but trust me, Joe Bob did good at our show.
right?
Fucking kill it at the Houston Horror Show.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
do good anywhere.
Kill it at the fucking Houston.
Yeah.
2.5 hour waits at a Colt, 2.5 hour waits, including 4.5 hours at a Houston Horror Show.
Right. Well, we've talked about it a few times. It's something that he's been in Texas a lot. I'll be honest with you. And that's the thing but you saying that says that he'll still be a draw. But yeah, it's something that we've talked about and discussed. There's no bad blood at all between us. I mean, we have no issues with Joe Bob at all. I mean,
No, he did actually say that on that show, and I said, no. There's
No.
nothing with us.
there's
That's
no
the
bad
book.
blood at all.
I actually told him, I was like, "Look, dude, if you were actually invited to the Houston Horror Show,
Go.
you would do way better than our show."
Go.
I told him that, and he goes, "Really?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Nobody tells me that, hey, there's other shows better than their shows." No, the Houston show is better than our show. They're killing it. And I love Frightmare. And I know you told me, hey, there's no bad blood. And there should not be. Everyone's allowed to be able to do what they do. So Frightmare is the original golden child of.
If it wasn't for Frightmare, we wouldn't be doing what we do. I'll be honest.
No, but the thing is Scott, you've got to fucking be, you have to understand what you're doing. You guys have created a second Frightmare in Houston.
Yeah.
Y'all show is phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal, dude.
It really
Yeah,
is.
it's great.
The way,
Great.
the way you put it together, the organization,
Yes.
like I can
It's
tell
fun.
you the last year that we
Big
went there
party.
at peak hour on Saturday at from noon to 2:30, you could not walk from one end of the venue to the other. Like it was
Yeah, it's
shoulder to shoulder, just packed.
Yes.
And the organization and the just the environment was
They got
That's
a
the
great
big thing is the environment and the environment and the experience are a very important thing to me. And the thing about it is it's important to me for everybody. You guys see me when I'm at the show. I make sure the vendors are okay. I make sure the attendees are okay. I make sure that the volunteers are okay. I make sure that the guests are okay. And that's all I do the entire weekend is run around making sure everybody's okay. And that's why the experience is the most important thing to me.
Dude, Scott is so right. I got it. Let me interrupt you, Scott. Like he's right, because the first time I ever met Scott, I was like, "Where am I going in this building?" I'm in the Houston Horror Film Festival. Like, you know, this is one of the first time we went, and he's like, "Hey, you lost?" And like, you know, he just was like helping people. So he does like that's what he does when he goes to these shows.
That's what I do
He's,
the
like,
entire time. I just make sure
everybody's
everybody's
just helping people, making sure everybody's good, like checking, hey, what's going on here? Hey, and you want to see him and you want to say, hey, what's going on? He's like, he smacks you in the back and say, I ain't got time to hang out. I got too much shit.
Look. Hey,
and you know what? He does it with a fucking smile on his face.
No,
Yeah, no
here's
shit.
here's the one thing. I love Cult Classic. I love Roy. I was told to hate Houston Horror Show.
I've heard stories.
Stop. And then the first thing I ever did, when we did a show in Houston at HTV, and I said I need to meet the guys from HTV from Houston. I want to squash this. We met 3 years ago, and then we met at the Butcher's Bluff thing, and then I realized, you know, I don't do the hate. I do not. I just look. Everyone can do it.
Never take somebody else's opinion on somebody.
No.
Never take.
The thing
another
is
person's opinion.
hey, I want you guys to know this thing. And look, Scott, no homo on this. You're one of the greatest dudes I've met in a long time, dude.
No homo on this guy.
There's no dick sucking on this. I will not put my dick. You put your dick in my mouth, but you are fucking awesome.
That's a little homo.
Like I said, it's just me being me and wanting to make sure everybody is just building that community. Like I said, building that community and that family, and it's honestly a beautiful fucking thing. One of my favorite stories. I'll tell you a story from the last film fest. So I was in corporate America for 20 years. I was a mid-level executive for Halliburton. A lot of people don't realize that, but I used to wear a suit to work every fucking day. It was miserable. And last year, it was on the Saturday at about 5:00, and I'm running through the lobby to go put out a fire in the pavilion, and I see this guy smiling at me, and I recognize him. I'm like, he looks kind of familiar. I've been out of the oil field for 12 years now, and he's trying to stop me, and I told him, I said, hey, I'll be right back. So I haul ass, take care of what I'm taking care of, and I finish up, and I come back to the lobby, and I went to look for him. I was like, let me see what this guy needed, and I find him, and I walk over. And it was an engineer that used to work with me at Halliburton named Eddie Porras. And I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck are you doing here? And he goes, hey, I want you to meet somebody. You know, we talked for a little bit. He goes, I want you to meet somebody. And there was this kid behind him dressed up like Art the Clown. And it was his son. And his son is on the spectrum. And he told me, he says, you know, until you started doing this, I never realized stuff like this existed. And my son finds comfort in horror movies. And I want to thank you for having something like this where he can come and be himself and enjoy himself.
So here's the one good thing Scott. So here's the one thing I want to say about you right now. This is about Scott only. Okay. He created with everyone else, Texas Frightmare type con. Okay, a lot of people that create those kind of concepts, all about here's what I've done. I'm equivalent to the actors that I'm bringing. Okay, Scott, you're just with us, dude. I mean, you're the same normal person. You support everybody. You're normal. That's what's cool. You know, that's why Houston Horror Show will be just as big as Frightmare because of Scott. Okay.
Yeah, that's all that I try to do is just, like I said, just build that family. It's like a family reunion every fucking year. It's amazing.
It really is. I think that's
when I started that the
even
first
in
year at
just
that hotel. No, go ahead, Brian.
in our interactions and like dealing with Scott and like dealing with Shane and all these other things we're talking about. And like to Shane's point, when you have these actors who are coming and have this preconception about dealing with people like us, we're all just genuine folks. Whether we're on screen, we're off screen, we're sitting in a room having beers, or we're live on Facebook, we're the same fucking person every single time.
Right.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people don't get that in their lives, and when they interact with people like that, it's a little jarring.
And, you know, at the
So-
hotel, when we first started at the hotel, they never did a horror convention. They never heard of anything like that, and they're like, "What to expect?" And I said, "Imagine a sea of black T-shirts. There's fucking black T-shirts as far as you can see, and there's blood here, and there's blood there, and there's scary shit, and it's just you don't know what to think about it, but you look around, and every single person around you has a heart bubble above their head, and they're just
Yeah.
happy to be there." And I
Everybody's
said,
cool.
you know, imagine a family reunion with family you've never met before, but you know you're all family. So you all
Well,
want to
hey,
have a
real quick. Let's
Yeah.
not pass over the fact of what Houston Horror Film Festival also does. So it's not just the guests, it's not just the vendors, it's the support of independent film. They're up to 2, 3 in the morning, man, showing fucking films of independent makers in these little rooms. Like, and people are showing up, and they put in their time to really go there and watch these independent
saw that.
filmmakers.
that's a huge part of it, and it'll always be
Dude,
a part of it.
It's called the Houston Horror Film Festival. That's what this fucking
And I
event is
think a lot of
called,
people
man.
miss that
Hey,
with
Hey,
with
and
the
look,
spectacle.
hey, this goes back to the whole concept that I have a convention, and look, I don't know what's going to happen, Scott. I sent you a message. You know what's going to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen. The thing is there's love with everything, and the thing is when I was told to hate a certain group, I realized that's a group better than us. And these guys are not better because they're better people, but they have a greater concept. And Scott, dude, you are golden, brother. And what you are doing and everything with the Houston Horror Show, I support everything with
I
it.
know you. Trust me, I know the support I get from you guys, man. All of you.
The thing is look, you guys are bringing people that I even wanted in my convention. You know, like the minor, the original My Bloody Valentine. You do not understand. I have so much shit I'm about to waste money on for your stuff. You guys just did D Wallace. If you fucking do Lynn Shay, I'm fucking nutting everywhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Lynn
Not-
Shay?
you know, not literally.
I will nut right in your face. But no, look, it's great. The good thing about horror movies, and everyone that's watching us, we have a good following here, and you guys see what we do. If you want to support indie horror, it is the Houston Horror Show.
Yep.
They support indie horror more than anything. And I actually own a convention. Everybody knows I own a convention, and Lance owns it with me. We don't do as much for the indie as the Houston guys do. Dude, you don't understand. If you want to get your shit out, put it out there. Houston Horror Show has an opportunity to show and, put your shit out there. They have it. It's especially in this it's hard.
And we're trying to do more. I mean, right now, I'm working with Victoria and Brian and David right now with Not Another Film Meet, to where we're going to get them involved a little bit to help us out with a few things, just to increase that appreciation for the local indie scene. So that's one, like I said, that's one aspect of this event that will never go away. especially, I mean, Troy. I got to shout out Troy Escamilla. Yeah, I
Man.
mean, he's a huge. He's stuck in that film room all fucking weekend, but he is a huge part of this event. I mean, he's right in the heart of it.
No,
Yeah, man.
You guys are fucking killing it. I mean, everything you guys are doing right now with the whole. Oh, we have Whit. Let's try to jump back in. Hey, Whit. Whit, you want to speak English?
No, habla.
But look, hey Scott. One thing you got to be proud of is you have made a staple with everyone that is in the whole market. I mean, horror wise. I mean, you understand. Like, we've done it, and we're going to do some other stuff that's going to be announced soon. But you have Texas Frightmare, then you have Houston Horror Show.
Houston Horror Film Festival, Double H, Double F.
Even though,
But I truly believe they're one and the same. Okay, so we went recently to Texas Frightmare, and I love it. I had a blast. I go to the Houston Horror Show. I have a blast. You understand? They bring the people that other people don't believe, but bring. You know, they bring guests and friends that no one else shows up to other shows. Okay,
Yeah.
You can have your Comic-Cons. You can have their other shows. Those people aren't coming. You have to have the people that bring everyone together. Houston Horror Show, Scott, you've done it.
Does that? Okay,
You've
hey,
done it.
and the whole environment is awesome. Is one thing is one of the reasons we're where we're at is because the whole environment of the hotel show to me is just all around different experience in its own. It like is that family reunion feel. It's so many of our guests. I remember Jimmy Duvall. He hung around drinking with us in the courtyard till 4:00 in the morning when
awesome.
and that's just chilling, talking to everybody and hanging out, and just that experience just means so much to so many people, man. And
Absolutely.
we don't.
The real actors. I mean, it's just something, but that's what makes your show different than everybody else's show.
And
Hey,
on
Scott.
that-
We're
on
gonna
that,
keep it going too. What's up, Whit?
Hey, Scott. I'm just curious. What do you think about Jason Part 8? That's one of Lance's most favorite. I mean, he talks about it all the time. I'm not a big fan, but I know Lance is. He loves it.
It's
What are your feelings?
It's my tattoo guy's favorite movie. I'll put it
All
that
right,
way.
Do it, Scott. Hey, just trust me. This will make the greatest moment of everything. I need you to tell me what you think about Part 8.
I enjoy, dude. Any movie I can have fun with, I fucking enjoy. I mean, I have all these different movie lists, like favorites, best, all this other shit. Best movie ever made, The Thing, 1982. My favorite horror movie, just because as a kid I watched them so much, is a tie between Basket Case and Blood Diner.
Oh,
That I fucking those are two of my comfort movies. I watch them all the time. I got Belial on one arm, and I got the European Blood Diner VHS on my other arm. I mean, those two movies are absolutely amazing, dude. I fucking love them. Blood Diner actually has inspired a lot of my producing with Death Bike. That movie's just Jackie Kong is. I would love to get her in a show.
so
Between Night Patrol and fucking Blood Diner, I just want to meet her so bad.
that would be epic. Dude,
Yeah,
hey,
I love Part 8.
here's the greatest thing about the Houston Horror Show is because the people that I want to meet don't go to my conventions; they go to the toy show. Here's the one. I need two other opinions on this. I need John. John.
No.
You ready for this?
Yo, I got it. What you got?
Hey, Part 8.
trash.
Yeah, it's not the best in the franchise. It's one of the lower rung ones, but it has its moments. It has its
Why?
moments.
Come on, explain.
So, well, like first off, just the creativity of filmmaking, the way that they actually use an industrial ocean lining vessel as a cruise ship.
Teleportation, Jason, really?
Yeah, you have teleportation, Jason. That really sucks. But you have like some of the cool stuff. You have like Jason boxing decapitations. You
That was
have
fun.
That's epic.
you have things
That's an
like
awesome scene. That's a great scene.
the awesome scene where he walks in Times Square and kicks the radio from the punks. He's chasing
Yes.
other people, doesn't have time to mess with these guys. He just shows them his face. They're like, "Hey, dude, it's cool." He turns around. I mean, come on, that's pretty funny. When he gets out, it had some like very good, just like in the moment things. When he gets out of the water, looks up and he sees the hockey mask, and it says "Support your local hockey league." Big old sign. You know, he turned around. And you get some cool moments like that. Plus, it was the first one that got him to do fucking Arsenio Hall. Like as a kid, I saw Jason on TV, and that was from Part 8. And I was like, dude, what is my favorite fucking slasher doing on primetime fucking TV, man? And so, so Part 8 has that. But I will tell you, there's small things that I don't like. Like, how does he get from Crystal Lake to the open ocean? That makes no sense.
It's called
It
a
makes
boat.
zero sense.
Yeah.
It's a lake.
It's a lake, dude.
It's not a tributary. It's a lake.
Hey, John, kind of like he told me, it's a movie. It's just a movie.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
That's what Lance keeps telling me.
All
It's
right.
just a
Hey,
movie.
hey. Here's the next one I need.
Breaker.
All right. All right. Brian, Part 8.
So that's the funny thing about the Friday franchise is that every time somebody new has to grab it, they have to take and make a new story with just this
Hey,
little.
but you already made that story in 7.
But so Jason's in the lake, right? Jason's dead. A writer has to come in and just take this little piece and then make another hour and a half out of it. And so, like, okay, he's in the water. Well, we're going to have a boat go by and we're going to have electricity bring him back to life. And he's going to get on the boat. I like Part 8 just for the camp factor. Like John was saying, you know, there's some moments where it's like a little cringe, and then you see Jason being Jason. That's the one thing that I always love about anything Friday is
It's
just
set a
getting the
moment.
chance
It's at a moment.
to watch Jason be Jason.
Right.
The only thing I don't like about Part 8 is the ending. The meltdown, the
Yeah,
face,
that's
the
stupid.
mask cracking, and the terrible fucking face melting. I'm like, oh, God, you guys got really phoned it in on this one, man. You spent your production money on cocaine and really blew that ending. So
Blew it.
blew
Yeah,
the
it's
ending. Like
Yeah,
everything
it's
up until that ending, I could have.
F that
I was-
movie, man.
Okay. Look, Jason 6.
Hey, hold on. There's one more meta moment. There is a meta moment in Part 8 for fucking real.
Hey, John, stop real quick.
Oh, come on, damn it. All right, check it out. So, when Jason goes into
No,
the
get
diner,
it out. Go ahead.
I'm fucking trying.
We're
Shut up.
gonna say
When Jason goes into the diner and you get that big guy that comes from behind the diner to face him, and Jason fucking pounds him and throws him over the wall, that is Ken Kirkender, who plays Jason in Jason versus Freddy. So, like,
Yep.
that's meta shit. He actually gets to kill Jason in
That's
a
been filmed in Canada.
Jason.
No,
Yeah, it's fucking badass.
Look, I love everything about Jason. And I actually hate Jason X. But look, one of the greatest kills in Jason ever is the frozen face smash.
That's Part 10.
It's great. That's
He
Jason.
just said he hated that part of the movie, but I
do.
love Jason X because it was intentional.
I don't like it.
Uber
You,
Jason.
you love Jason X because they leaned into the bullshit.
No, here's the problem I have with Jason X is that hot Asian chick.
At the beginning,
You don't see her boobs.
you know, well, you see,
That's
boobs
the
in
only problem you have with the movie.
Yeah.
Part 8 sucks. Just, I mean, I'm putting it out there. It sucks.
I have a legitimate argument. You do not.
I do have.
Let me ask, hey Lance, does Part 8
Yes.
suck, right? How many
Yes.
copies do you own?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got your money, bitch. They got your money.
All signed.
Money. We got all my
I
money.
rest my case.
Well played, sir. Well played.
They're all signed, autographed. He loves it.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Rosa face.
That's a good kill.
That was a good kill.
Well executed.
Well executed.
Yep.
And then the whole the remake was not bad.
I like the remake.
The remake was
I
cool. It was a good one.
No. I totally agree. Because we've talked numerous times. I hate remakes. Friday
great.
13th, there is no better remake from Night of the Living Dead remake is the best remake ever. But the remake of Friday the 13th, where they had everything from 1, 2, and 3.
What movie was that?
What I love most about that 2009 is that we all in this are writing movies and trying to make our own productions. To have a team approach this subject matter and say, okay, we need to make something unique. We need to make something new that nobody's seen. To be able to take that storyline and put in the heartfelt elements that we're looking for as a fan and put that into a cohesive storyline with a new type of Jason, I think was executed very well.
No, totally agree.
I love the remake.
Totally.
I love the fucking remake.
Hey, here's a Friday the 13th weird moment you guys can agree or think is weird. So we were at the gas station, Texas Chainsaw Massacre gas station. I've been drinking a lot. So we were at the gas station, and Roy goes, "Can you dress like Leatherface?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have the costume." So I ran around and fucked with people drunk like Leatherface. And then I ran up to this guy, and he goes, "Hey, do you mind taking a picture with my daughter?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." I took a picture with his daughter, and I took my mask off. And this guy and I talked for probably 30, 45 minutes. This coolest guy I've ever met. And then I walked back to the cabins, and they go, "What that guy had to say?" I said, "What do you mean?" "The guy you were just talking to." I said, "Who was I talking to?"
Can't wait till you say the name. Say the name.
So they go, "That was Jared Padalecki we're just talking to." I was like, "Who's Jared Padalecki?"
Yeah, who is that?
I had no clue. Jared Padalecki, who was in Jason and all the other, movies.
I think you messed the name up though.
Jared Padalecki. Padalecki. How do you say it?
Close enough.
Close enough, man.
And you talk about the way I talk.
Oh yeah, I got from Supernatural.
Jared
Yeah,
Padalecki.
yeah, that's how you say it.
Cadillac, you know.
Padalecki.
Hey, you were close. It rhymed.
Okay,
It
look.
rhymed.
so I actually had a conversation with this guy for like 45 minutes. I didn't know he was in Supernatural or the Jason movie, and I left. And everyone was like, "What do you have to say?" And I was like, "I don't know who you're talking about." Now, every time I tell people the story, they're like, "He probably loves you." He goes, "No one. This guy was just a normal to me. He just."
You were trying to hit him up for an autograph or a photo.
I didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
You know, it would have been
So-
great if you would have asked them for the other guy's autograph in Supernatural. Hey, man, can you get that one for me? That should
yeah, that would be cool. Because I had no clue who he was to begin with. We talked for a long time. The dude's cool, man. We had a great conversation. I couldn't know who you told me to talk about, but it was good.
Hey, did you went to 10 in the remake? Did you gloss over Jason Goes to Hell and
Okay.
Freddy?
We are all going to gloss over Jason Goes to Hell.
Are we really?
Oh,
Are we though? Are we?
See,
It's
Brian,
not that bad of a movie.
it's really not that bad, Brian.
look,
I like
look,
it.
look. No,
Yeah, it is.
Brian.
It
Lance,
really is.
Lance, you're just back there starting
It's as bad
fights.
as
Shut
eight.
up.
It's just as bad as 8.
Stirring the pot.
So,
Again,
We-
I own like
hey,
2
look.
copies.
hey, we met the guy that
Adam Marcus.
created Jason. What was his
Adam
name?
Marcus.
Adam Marcus.
Adam Marcus.
And I got him to sign the script. And I go, did you base this off Jason versus Ash versus Voorhees? And he goes, no, I'm the reason they made that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Because if part 9 would have been dominant and Jason versus Freddy would have been killer and people would have loved it, we'd have had Jason versus Ash versus
really?
Voorhees.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
You know what? And that's
Dude, I can.
Again,
I
that
can.
is-
It'd have to be like 3 fucking hours long to be any good because I guarantee you somebody would have directed it and it would have been fucking ended up like Jason versus Freddy. Like some ass bag. It wouldn't have been Sam Raimi. They wouldn't have given it to him. It would have been some fucking ass bag director like the Ronnie Yu dude who did fucking Jason X. Dude, he did that kangaroo movie, Warriors of Virtue, and you go and do Jason versus
Whoa,
Freddy.
whoa.
Uh-oh.
What kangaroo?
What?
You talking about
You-
like the
The one
Yeah.
from like the early 90s with the kangaroos and it was like Ninja Turtles, but with kangaroos. You don't remember
Oh,
that
God.
shit? They were
Warriors of Virtue, man.
one of the greatest movies ever.
You like that?
Uh,
movie?
Are we not allowed to-
I like that movie. Shut the
Oh, I
fuck
didn't
up.
know. I've never seen it.
Yes.
It surprises me.
Okay, I don't
It's
like
terrible.
that movie. I don't like that movie.
No, I didn't.
You're not allowed to like that movie? Okay, I
Hey,
don't like
hey,
that movie.
Lance. Hey, Lance, do I like that movie? No, I don't like that movie.
Is it? I've never seen.
Me
it.
I
and
know it's
my
a
buddy
weak-ass
down there
argument because you got,
talking
like,
about
Robert
Dundee.
Rodriguez, and then he'll do Spy Kids. I get it. It's a shitty argument, but come on, man. Jason versus Freddy was not made by a horror fan. That guy did like, come on.
Hey,
I
No, the
I'm
thing
just gonna
is,
come
is
out
look,
Bride of Chucky.
they
That's
created a
terrible.
crackhead, and the girl from the Destiny Child's ripping nose off was awesome. And the crackhead chick.
No, that's
the
terrible.
Houston Organs brought her.
Kelly Rowland.
What's her name?
She was in it. Kelly Rowland.
Who's the girl from Houston Org? You guys brought her recently. What's her name?
Oh, McKenna.
Yeah.
McKenna.
You know, it's.
Yeah, Edward's
I
girlfriend.
think that
Yeah. No.
so everything after
is epic.
everything after part 8 suffered from the fact that there was no continuity in the ownership of Jason. So every time someone had to produce a new movie, they had to have, you need X amount of separation from the original storyline to be able to produce this as something new. So that's
couldn't
where
use the word Friday the 13th.
you couldn't use this, you couldn't use that. Somebody had to, okay, I have to write a script. I've got permission to write this script. I can't use this, I can't use that. I need to change this, I need to change that. So you get like a part 9, Jason Goes to Hell.
Which I think
You
was
can't have Jason running through the movie because you have to have the X amount of separation from the original storylines to make it a new product. And I think that 2009 is probably the only one that actually hit the mark.
You
with
have
that
to actually
moment.
get part 9. The whole Deadeye concept would have been epic.
They snuck it in. They snuck some references in there.
And the
You know, they had the Necronomicon, they had the Kandarian dagger.
Yep.
If they would have kept it going, would have been awesome. It was the same thing. Okay, look, Scott, same age range. You remember watching Predator 2?
Yeah, seeing the skull,
Yes.
the alien
Yes,
skull.
yes.
Yeah,
And then you
yes.
see,
Yes.
it was like 20 years later, you had
Right.
Alien vs. Predator. It's the same thing with Jason versus Voorhees. The fact that you realize he's a Deadite, then you have the Jason and Freddy concept, and then if people would have embraced it, we'd have had Ash who, look, I am not gay. I will never suck a dick. But I love
Hold on.
If
Again,
Bruce-
never again.
We have
if,
pictures.
if Bruce said, look, if you want to be in my group, here's my penis. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I love that guy. He is the greatest of all fucking icons. And we'd have had him with Jason versus Voorhees, you know?
Dude, I can tell you straight up, man, I'm not the biggest fan of Jason being a Deadite. I believe Jason is far beyond, because
We just
what
like
happens
John.
with every Deadite? Every Deadite is fucking able to turn into a human form. They're able to manipulate. And in part 9, he does it with just this demon on the inside. So he has to kiss you in the mouth in order for you to change. That doesn't happen in the Evil Dead movies. They can literally turn around. Hey,
John,
I'm regular.
Hey, John.
I don't like it. I think Jason is better. I think he's more than a Deadite. He's a
I hate
bigger
the
level.
fact that, like, I want you to be wrong so much, but I agree with you so much because
true,
we
though.
were at, no, look, because we were at Frightmare, and the concept of what the guy at Frightmare said with what you're trying to say, I get it. Okay, I do not want that.
It's a reach.
The whole, like, you know, like I think they misrepresented everything they could have had.
I
with
think
the whole
even the
Jason-
Deadite, the whole spell of the Deadite couldn't even contain Jason. Like he's
No,
He's a-
no, fuck, dude, you're
Just
so
beyond that.
no, you on fucking point. Because the dude that what's his name, Marcus? Adam Marcus recreated the whole reason I made it part 9 thing, and we met him, and he signed the my script. He goes, read the script, you know. I was like, I even told him, I'm not reading it. I don't read because, you know, I'm illiterate, you know.
Thanks for not saying retarded.
I'm trying to. We're on Facebook.
That's right.
But the thing is I get what you're trying to say with the whole Jason concept, but there's still a layer. If Marcus,
yeah, it'd be cool. It would have been a great fucking movie.
yes,
I'd say it's not a perfect franchise,
yes,
you know, but it's a great franchise.
it's
It's
bad.
a great concept, but it had to be built the right way.
Well, the good thing is it's not Scream.
It's not Scream. Fuck Scream.
True.
Why do you hate Scream so much?
God, he hates my Scream movies.
I like it. I like it. Let's
So
Because they're
go.
these guys
lame.
are jerking out tonight,
No, we're not.
or mouth stuff,
no.
whatever.
Oh,
But like,
tangent.
well, why don't you also go back to some of the things that you know Friday really did? Like they hold the number for sequels. You know, they are the biggest running sequel chain. They pretty much made that concept of, we had a film from 1980 to 1988 every year, just
Yes.
about, right?
Yes,
And just
That's so
having
fun.
that annual celebration of, hey, there's a new one, there's a new one.
Look,
It was fantastic.
I truly hate remakes. Okay, and there's remakes like that should not happen. Night of the Living Dead, I think it's one of the greatest. It's probably the best remakes. The Friday the 13th remake, adding 1, 2, and 3 in that whole remake, I think they did a great job.
Yep.
I think it was killer.
And well, then the fan films, there are so many freaking Friday fan films, man. Like, the fans literally keep this franchise alive. You haven't had a film since 2009, right? You've had the teasers of the TV show that's going to come out, but what have you had in between? You've had nothing but fan support. They almost don't even need to release one to this point, because you have just as much fan footage made that you do of the original franchise of movie. You almost have the same length of content to watch that just delves into like more cool stuff about Jason. And one thing, like yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up about part 9 is the one thing that part 9 really added to it was it took the step further of the lore. Everything else was the same until part 8, right? We had, you know, it was the basic lore, but we had a little something extra at part 9. So it was something new. And at that time, my age, that was actually the first Friday the 13th film I ever got to see in the theater. And I remember I was 16 or 15. I was with Elvin, Brian, and you know, you had to be 18 and like they wouldn't let us in.
Shout
My
out
mom
to
had
Lab.
to take it, right, and to go and sit in the freaking theater with us to watch that film.
Which
But
one
yeah,
was it?
and Jason Goes to Hell.
That was your first one?
That was the first one I got to see in the theater. Yeah, in a
Yeah.
theater. It wasn't
I
the
got
first
you.
one I've seen. It was just the first
I
one I
got
got to see in a theater. Yeah, I've seen.
It was-
I was farm raised on Friday films for VHS film, bro. Like shit.
I saw 3D was mine.
Jason X was mine first one.
That was mine too.
I actually
3D was the first
never
one in the movie.
seen a Friday 13th anything in a theater. I saw the reboot of Friday 13th Part 3 where they did the whole 3D effects. But the
That counts.
first horror
the first
movie I ever
run.
saw was Freddy's Dead 3D.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was a big moment. Like, you know, getting to see a Friday film in the theater, and then when they re-released part 1, Brian and I, our families, we went together a couple years back when they did part 1 in the theaters again, and you know, it's just good old stuff, man. Like Friday, I've always said this: the Friday the 13th franchise for me is comfort food. It is like
Chicken
you know,
fried
macaroni
steaks.
and cheese and mashed potato and like chicken fried steak. It's so bad for you. You know, it's gonna just do nothing but kill you and make you stupid. But man, it tastes so damn good and just feels so good going down. And then when it's in front of you, you just love it and you just want to go like, man, I want to dig into you so hard. So yeah, like
It's one of those things. Friday for us, it's just one of those things that if there's ever a time you're flipping through the channel and you hit a Friday, you just leave it on.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
And if you ever need to put something on just to watch something, put a Friday on.
Right.
Absolutely. So, look, Horrorland fans, we have a few things to show before we end this. Look,
Check this.
Oh, what is that?
Look, if you want to go to one of the greatest shows ever, look, go to the Houston Horror Show. If you want to go to the greatest show second to that, go to this.
This is gonna be fun, guys.
I mean,
Really
how
fun.
do you go to a greater concept, horror and bar?
Watching a
You know,
movie
yes.
on Friday the 13th.
So on Friday 13th with
On
a
Jason's
guy.
birthday,
No, look, sorry, fuckers.
on Brian's
You
birthday,
have-
Jason.
No, fuck Brian. Right now, you guys, you have. I'm about to do this right now. Look, we're gonna do this right now. Hold on. Friday the 13th, Brian's birthday. Whose birthday is also Friday the 13th?
Jason Voorhees.
Jason fucking Voorhees. There is.
Yep.
Look, I love CJ Graham. I love everything that Friday the 13th ever brought to the organization. There is no better Jason. There is no better Jason than Brian.
Oh,
Brian.
He's great.
No, Brian.
He's got the movements
Brian
and everything.
is meant to
Once
be
you-
Jason. No, stop, Brian. You are meant to be Jason. You play the role
Yep.
well. You have the fucking epic costume. You have the same fucking birthday. There is no other person than Brian to be Jason.
Brian Bynum rules.
Yes.
Yeah,
So go.
we've
to,
coined a term for him. He is the Brazoria
go
County.
to fucking Brian's birthday at this fucking party and hang out with the guy.
I'll be there too.
All of us. All of us.
And there's going to be cake.
Cake.
Yeah.
Cake.
Hey, we got
Gotta
one
be
more
cake. And beer.
thing to show,
Oh, yeah.
and we didn't even ask permission from Ben Rhodes.
Gotta have beer.
We didn't even
Okay.
ask
Dude, I will
permission.
tell you this cake will be epic too. We got I got Jason miniatures.
You hold on, Lance Wagner. You hold on.
Okay. No. Look, hey. Look, Horrorland Television fans, we have actually been gifted a trailer that's only been shown on a few other outlets, and we're going to show it tonight. The thing is look, go Friday. I have a bunch of people are going. Horrorland Television will be there with a table. Brian, who is meant to play Jason, will be there in costume.
Superstar.
Yes. And then, but hey, before we end it tonight, I need you guys to see a trailer to one of the greatest fucking movies I am so ready for. Here we go.
For Ben Rhodes.
Woo!
Yes.
For over 10 years, one clown has terrified the masses, increasing the world's fear of clowns. His acts of violence have made him a household name. Well, fuck that clown.
Fucking awesome.
Shit.
Heard you missed us. We're back.
The clowns are back! Circus of the Dead 2! Popcorn, noodle dome, popcorn, Mr. Blister, Jumbo!
Fucking A.
Fucking game.
One of the greatest-
Woo!
Trust me.
Fuck that clown.
Ben,
I like those glasses, Ben.
he's over there tearing
Look.
up.
Billy Pond, I'm sorry. I make independent movies and I make Country Club. I have Bud coming out. We're about to do Confest. And Billy Pond is Texas Horror. I'm sorry. He is. What he's doing and his support for what we do, I will never, ever deny what he is. Okay?
Scott, you got to get him. Y'all got to get him one day.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was
We need to finally meet him. Well, I've only known him through social
He's
media.
he's amazing.
Stop
I
flying.
think that what he did with Circus of the Dead, the production value on what he was trying to accomplish was executed so well. Like just the production value of what he was able to do with that film is what we're all trying to achieve.
So here's the greatest thing about
Yeah.
one. You don't understand. Every time I make an independent anything, he goes, "Send me the script. I'll help you write it. Send me any production you have. I'll help you make sure you're." He wants everybody to be successful. That's the thing I have with independent fucking markets. And I'm sorry, Scott, you have to market a lot of the people in your independent thing. There's people out there, they're piece of shits, okay? And they're all
They are
about
for themselves. That's it.
they're all about themselves. It's all about helping themselves, okay? But we should all be about helping each other. Look, I might not made a great movie, and look, even in Bud, look, I just recently put a movie together, and the one thing I can say about my movie, Bud, it's probably not the greatest movie ever, but I have a guy named Whit, who's one of the phenomenal actors. I have a guy named John Shepard, who dominated his role. I have a guy named fucking Brian, who created a script that I didn't even have, and he
Made a
fucking
character.
look. And then I had Ben, who had a small role, and I had to put another role into it. Those are the people that make independent me.
Brett was in it too. He had a little tiny role in that.
Brett did. No, but the thing is it's not about a lot of that. It's especially Scott. You guys promote the independent of what we do, but you don't promote the egotistic "I'm doing what I'm doing" kind of concept. And you know, there's probably sometimes you do because their concept is better. It is. You can't deny it. But everyone's got to be. You got to be humble. That's what we're doing. In this
Yeah, that's a perfect word for it.
You've got.
Yeah.
I think that
That's perfect.
we as a group have that mentality that it's not just about me. It's about I want whatever effort I'm putting into something to be lifting to it. And John can say that, and Shane can say that, and Scott can say that, and Ben can say that, and Wick can say that because I've seen it. We've been there in those moments to lift up whatever we're a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely.
No, it's the same thing what Scott's doing. I mean, I've seen some stuff that Scott and them that post in their whole independent market film festival. Those people have good fucking movies, and they've done some good shit. You know, and I cannot wait to see what they do after that. Can you
Yeah, it's gonna
imagine?
be awesome.
Right. Yeah. That's the big thing, to see where everybody goes.
Oh,
Yep.
And I love seeing where everybody's going with it. I mean, it's just working with Brian and John with Castle versus Voorhees. It's getting into that mode is what got me into the other two movies that I'm working on now, and just that whole environment. Yeah, I've worked with Brian and John. You can ask them when I'm helping with a movie. The way I ended up getting the producer gig with Death Bike is I got a role on Death Bike. And I told the director, I said, "Hey, you mind if I come by a set so I can meet everybody? You just want to." And next thing you know, I'm working as a PA and I'm sweeping trash, and I got a roll of gaffer around. I'm just jumping in there, but wherever anybody needs me, I'm going to do what it takes to go ahead and get the product.
Welcome to independent filmmaking, baby. And he goes full tilt.
And
that's how I ended up becoming a producer with Death Bike. The director was like, "Hey, my producer has to drop out. We watched you work. Would you mind doing this?" And then I jumped into that, and I started learning casting and location. And now I'm at a point with another project that I've got to work on. I've had to go through and learn SAG and SAG deferred, and just so many things. I've jumped full tilt into it, and it's been pretty amazing, man. I fucking love it.
One thing that I'll
say
about Scott.
Appreciation for
Scott, I heard you can skirt SAG by making him a producer.
No, here's the one good thing. Hey, look, this is the greatest thing about Scott. Okay, you heard what he can do, and you
He
heard
looks good in a
he
pair of
has-
jeans.
No. The thing is, Scott has. Hey, look, there's Frightmare. We own a convention called Classic. There's Frightmare, and there's Horror Show. They are the best shows. Okay. The greatest thing about Scott is he loves sport. He has a good fucking head on what we want to do. He's sports indie, but he's family oriented. Okay. There's no guy I know that loves his daughter better than Scott.
And I'm missing her right now, man. She's in Spokane, Washington. She's on tour right
See?
now. But
That's what I'm saying. The thing is, I fall in for that.
Right.
That's family. That's fucking golden, Scott. You have something that a lot
appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
I don't know what I donated to earlier, but Scott goes, my daughter needs something. Oh, Scott's daughter.
There's the tour she's on
That
right
what it
now.
was?
Actually, you're helping fund
But
stuff.
the thing is that's fucking horror. That's horror. Horror family support everything. It doesn't have to be about what they're doing movie wise. It's what they're doing family wise.
It's a family.
It
That's
really is.
exactly what it is.
It's
goes beyond.
funny that people that I've interacted with who don't want to be involved in something scary, it's like it's only scary when it's done. When you're doing it in the moment, it's just work. Right. And that's the one thing I love about Scott is like we all love the Blob, right? Scott is like the Blob. It's this positive force that just fills in the voids. If something comes up missing, he fills in that space and he starts pushing outward with this positivity. And that's what we all want to be as part of this horror community. And I think Scott is like the figurehead of what we're all trying to accomplish.
No. Hey, John. I mean, Brian, I could not agree more. This is the whole Colt hates Houston Horror Show. I still remember the time that I was told that I'm supposed to hate Houston Horror Show, and remember that I said I need to meet those guys, and I met Scott, and ever since that moment, I love Scott.
I've always loved
Everything you guys are doing, Scott, I fucking love it. You know, I even have an actor I want to join the Houston concept. You know, but the deal is, you guys are killing it, man, and you guys are real. And the thing is, and it's not the whole. I'm about to go on a market on this. So there's things that we do with our show, and I don't do hate, but there's also San Antonio people, and they're doing too much, and they're screwing the market, and they're hating people. And
Oversaturation.
yeah, there's oversaturation. But the deal is I would be cool to end my show and never have a cult, as long as there's a Houston Horror Show.
Oh, they're getting bigger. They're not good.
The reason I'm not trying to. No, look, I'm not trying to look. I would like to still keep doing what I'm doing, but you don't understand the family. Look, Scott, you embraced me instantly when I said, okay, they're supposed to hate me and I'm supposed to hate them. Remember that? And we drove there and said, I gotta meet someone, and I met you at that show.
I remember well.
Yeah. And then
it took us a while to get together because Joe was trying to get us together, but I was running around, and then we finally got some time to talk.
Right. And then the second time we met was the Butcher Bluffs thing. And then I realized, I was like, holy fuck, this son of a bitch is the same person as me. He loves horror movies. He's a good and the thing is look, Scott, I want you to know this. This is how I believe you are right now. There are people in our industry. Listen, no, Scott's different. The reason I'm saying it is because you meet people and you realize, oh God, they have fucking stature. I need to jump on their stature. I'm going to be better than other people. Scott, you have never been there. You
build everybody up around you.
Scott has always been, here's who I am. You've been in these movies. I've not been in any movies. We're the same people because you're a person. So when I met Scott, I was like, oh my God, I think he's going to think I make a great horror show, which is it is the second greatest horror show in Texas. You cannot deny that. No one can.
Yeah.
I thought
he's also a great actor.
When I met Scott, he's normal people. He's just normal fucking people. He is normal fucking people.
Dude, here.
That's all I'm trying to be honest. And it was funny for a long time back when I was in the oil field and everything. It's weird how I ended up just being me again. I was in the oil field for 20 fucking years. And I wore a tie every day. And, it was like the win and roam thing. I was doing shit. I had stopped doing the geeky, just enjoying shit and keeping my imagination going. Because I thought I was supposed to be different.
Right.
I was supposed to be like I was. And then one day I was at a fucking estate sale. And I remember traffic was real bad. I was going to work in the Woodlands. And I saw a estate sale sign on the side of the highway. So I pulled in. I was like, fuck it, let me go kill some time. And in the stack of fucking magazines, I found 3 Saga Swamp Thing comic books.
Nice.
That I remember when I was a kid. It was the first 3 Alan Moore Saga Swamp Thing. And I was like, man, I miss this shit so much. And I bought it. And the next week, I saw that this thing called Comic Palooza was coming up. And I was like, you know what this is? And so I volunteered for Comic Palooza. And next thing you know, the next year I've been working for Comic Palooza for almost 12 years now.
Nice.
And that's where I learned how to do shows at was Comic Palooza. So I realized I wasn't being me anymore. And what's funny is at that time my kids were still fairly young, and I was able to teach them all the lessons I learned. They didn't have to go 20 years in fucking bureaucratic fucking company to understand. Never lose your imagination. Always do the things you love, the things that make you happy. Just be you, take care of your priorities, handle your fucking business, pay your bills, but just do the things you fucking love. And I have, my son tells me all the time, I'm happier than he can ever remember me being,
You are not your
That's
fucking
awesome.
khakis.
Hey, so
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, hold on. Let me tell you about Scott. Like one thing about how good of an actor this dude is. So when he was reading for Castle versus Voorhees, he has this pivotal part, right? And he gets to go through every level of kind of emotions. He gets to joke, he gets to be pissed, he gets to kind of be bullying, he gets to be a little defensive, and then he gets to fucking scream and die. Like he gets to go through all these emotions. And when he did the table read, like we were on, doing like a little Zoom thing. And man, Brian and I were just like, bro, holy shit, this guy's like fucking selling it, man. And so he would do things off time. He would practice it and then send us clips. And we were like, yeah, I mean, so he was really into it. Like, and just having that, that kind of attitude. Yeah. And having that attitude and engagement about the project was really uplifting for us. We just we're like, fuck yeah, man.
Hey, John, you just solidified why Houston Horror Show will be one of the greatest shows ever, is because of that same characteristic. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, he's great.
Look, I have a show. I own a convention.
You're only allowed to blow Scott for 3 more seconds.
No, look, no, fuck. I will fuck that dick right now. But no, sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Look, I own a convention. I think it's a good convention. I don't know where it's gonna go, but Texas Frightmare is the founding father of Texas horror. Scott, what you guys have done? You guys are it. I will support you guys. If you told me right now on this show, I will not allow you to come to my show if you support Texas Frightmare, and you never would do that. I would do it. I would tell them right now, because I love Houston Horror Show that much. You guys have created an environment for us horror fans.
Mr.
In our backyard. In our backyard.
Right there. They've killed it, dude. You guys have killed it, man. And you've got you don't understand. Every time I asked to have an actor, they didn't get that actor, and you brought them. I cannot wait. I have my Bloody Valentine VHS over there and the toy. I cannot wait to get autographed because of you guys.
I've been getting my pile of stuff ready too.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
But
Chris Sarandon, D. Wallace. This year's going to be a banger.
Hell yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Hold on, real quick.
What's the dates? Let's plug the dates.
No, is it?
Our Fest January 8th through the 10th. So Friday, August 8th through August 10th.
That's funny. It's funny because I got my hotel room right as the fucking hotel rooms were selling out. So we're in the house.
Real quick, thank you, Horrorland Television. Please go to the Houston Horror Show. You will not find a better show on the fucking planet, period. I've had more fun at that show, even compared to my show. It's the greatest ever. They bring phenomenal actors. They have great fucking concepts. They have great VIP. If this VIP is not sold out, and you have not bought it, you have a fucking problem. They put a fucking show on. Please support the Houston Horror Show.
Yep.
And just so you know, this year is our fifth show. This is the fifth year. So that's one reason why we're bringing it so big this year.
What?
It blows my mind that it's been 5 years that we've been doing
Absolutely. So, look, Friday, the 13th, we're going to where, Brian?
Eureka Heights Brewery.
Houston,
Come on,
Texas.
Brian. Sorry.
There we are.
We're going there. Please join us. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Here we go, but we appreciate